stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Light 'em up! Oh baby, VOR is back. This is Ed.
This is Mike.
And there is no Carl, there is only Zoo.
Very nice. Tonight we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters, beloved movie, and we'll get into a little bit of Ghostbusters too. But better than that, we are joined by the members of the Across the Streams podcast, starting with Matt P.
That's right. What's up,
Matt?
Hi, how's it going? This is Matt Prov from Ontario, Canada. And we are part of Across the Streams Radio. And I want to say thank you guys for inviting us on the show and to be a part of VOR. I've been listening to the show for a while now and love it. Also, we're all huge Star Wars fans, but we also want to share our fandom of Ghostbusters and go from there. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you.
Right on. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone mans up to the challenge.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of challenge, yeah. We've been called out at least 2 or 3 times for the ALS challenge, which we will donate and we'll post a video very soon. Our buddies at the Ontario Ghostbusters, I just saw right now on Facebook, they just challenged Dan Aykroyd, so we'll see how that goes. Ernie Hudson did get challenged and he did do it, and he did challenge other celebrities in Hollywood. So don't worry. The challenge came to us through Todd Whalen. And yeah, it came through us through with the Ghostbusters of British Columbia, and so he sent the challenge out to us. So we're just trying to coordinate so we can make a video, but we'll be donating to the ALS Foundation. We'll be making a pretty funny video, so just stay tuned on that. We'll send it your way. So yeah.
Now I don't want to spoil anything you guys maybe have in progress, but when you guys do it, will you be using really cold slime?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, cold slime would be awesome. Except
take an hour to come out.
Yeah, yeah, it would be like, here we go.
It just rolls off your head.
Just rolls off. And be like, do I keep going? Yeah, keep going. But yeah, no, we're probably gonna do Kool-Aid or something like that, but that'll be a pain. I think we're just poor. I think we're just gonna use dish soap and then poison ourselves inadvertently. So something like that, like some green Dove or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, we'll make the challenge. Squeaky clean. It'll smell really nice. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
ALS challenge. Yeah.
So holy crap, when this number hit me in the face, I couldn't believe it because it's just something that's always been in your life, like old Uncle Steve, not the creepy Uncle Steve, but like the one you do like, and that's Ghostbusters. I'm like, holy crap, 30 years. How did that happen? How do we still sit down and love this movie?
It creeps up on you, man. I think the reason why we talk about Ghostbusters a lot is because it's the movie that sets the bar pretty high, especially when it came out, and it's the standard of combining comedy and special effects.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Hollywood, you see it all the time when they come up with a concept when they're about to pitch it to producers. They just say, "Yeah, it's Ghostbusters with Will Smith," or "This is Ghostbusters with Ryan Reynolds," and they're like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we get it." But before Ghostbusters, you couldn't pitch that. Like, I couldn't imagine. The only reason why I think Ghostbusters was successfully pitched was because Ivan Reitman had the way of communicating it to Columbia Pictures, and he was like, "Yeah, it's Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and everybody from Stripes and Animal House that I work with, and I got effects guys from ILM. So, you want to do this or not?" And they're like, "Yeah, you got only 10 months to shoot it and make effects. Is that cool? All right." So,
it's Star Wars meets Stripes.
Yeah, get it. With ghosts, and Dan Aykroyd talks really fast. So just a heads up. All right, cool. So
and I'll tell you, what I find really impressive, and you kind of mentioned it, was how fast the movie actually came together. Because Dan Aykroyd had actually been working with it with John Belushi like way back in the day, and it was supposed to be a completely different story and everything. They were supposed to be already established, but basically what happened was they got the contract signed. Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis like rented a bunker in Virginia or someplace like that.
It was in California. They went to or was it Martha's Vineyard? Yeah, they went there. They rented it out. Yeah, you're right. And they just got wasted and were like revise. What's funny? No, this is not funny. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd's original draft was he called it a treatment, and we've met Dan Aykroyd a few times when we've interviewed him for the show, and his treatments he always said they were like, oh yeah, my treatment was 200 pages. We're like, what? And so he gave that to Ivan Reitman and was like, this is my idea. Yeah, this is my idea. It was like I have this idea of ghost catchers in the future, and it's going to be set in the distant future with flying ships and interdimensional travel, and there's more than 100 team of Ghostbusters, and they catch demons and ghosts and aliens, and it's going to be set in outer space. And Ivan Reitman said, you're fucking crazy. And so Ivan's like, what? Okay, give me a second. So Ivan's like, no, we need to dial this down really quickly, or this film is going to cost $200 million in 1984. So what ended up happening was he brought Harold in at first as a consultant to clean up the idea. And that was when they pitched it back to Dan, and they said, you know what? This might work better as a present-day startup company joke, where you have 2 scientists or 3 scientists struggling to start their own business. And wouldn't it be funny if on the extreme side, their business is actually to catch ghosts and entrap them, and it will actually have the special effects, and that's how that concept really got glued in. They brought in Harold Ramis just to clean things up because of his experience with National Lampoon and Stripes, and he was a solid writer, and he wrote Animal House with the rest of the Lampoon crew, and that's how Ghostbusters really started. But Bill Murray at this point is not in the picture yet. They had no idea where he was going to fit. The idea was originally written for John Belushi. It was going to be another vehicle for Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. I think what kind of derailed it was just before John Belushi died, Dan Aykroyd and Belushi shot this really bad movie called, was it Neighbors?
Neighbors, yeah.
Or Neighbors?
Neighbors.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that on the video shelf, and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of this movie. I thought this might be funny.
It was terrible.
It was fucking terrible. I think, yeah, it was really bad. And I think it was supposed to be like a dark satirical comedy. I don't know what the hell the idea was, but it was bad. And I think the box office bankroll of having the two together was kind of diminishing because they tried to strike it big with 1941, and that didn't quite work. But Blues Brothers is what set them on the map. But it was going to be another Belushi vehicle, but unfortunately Belushi passed away, and everyone felt kind of down. But the idea still stayed, and Ivan loved the idea, and so did Harold. And I think after the success of Stripes and meeting a lot of people when they worked on the awesome movie Heavy Metal, which I absolutely love, you know, the inspiration of The Fifth Element and the inspiration to so much sci-fi lore. An awesome soundtrack, kick-ass soundtrack. So you had all the people. Heavy metal, duh. So you had all the crews of Heavy Metal, the crew of Stripes, and pretty much the effects crew that worked on the original trilogy, Star Wars World Trilogy, all came together, and that's when the movie started to come into play. Again, Bill Murray is not yet in this film at this point.
Yeah, and there was a lot of casting that kind of came and went. A lot like Eddie Murphy was originally supposed to play Ernie Hudson's role.
That's right.
John Candy was supposed to play Rick Moranis' role.
I didn't know that.
There's a very awesome fact about John Candy. If you go and read any of the behind-the-scenes material of Ghostbusters, especially when they show storyboards, every storyboard involving Louis Tully is drawn like John Candy because they casted Rick Moranis at the last minute. and so they didn't have enough money to redraw the storyboards, so they just kept the original ones.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, so that's it. Like, as long as you match the shot, who cares, right? So, but yeah, all the storyboard material in Ghostbusters 1 features Louis Tully as John Candy, and John Candy told Ivan Reitman he wanted his character to speak in a German accent, and that he would have pointers as his dogs. He would have 2 dogs, but then Ivan Reitman was saying, no, there's already these terror dogs in the film. That's not going to be funny if you have dogs and dogs, so it didn't work out. So, but John Candy was like, you know what, I'm really busy. I can't commit to this film, and that's why he did Splash. That's why John Candy ended up doing Splash with Tom Hanks. And that was his vehicle, but Splash was an okay movie, but obviously Rick Moranis scored big with Ghostbusters.
It's a sound, Daryl.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, did you hear that?
Amazing.
It's a Splash is a sound that Daryl Hannah
Did you
makes.
hear Brendan's voice?
What
Sorry,
is that?
I'm gonna introduce
It's a
right
ghost.
now. It's a ghost. I'm gonna introduce now a surprise. Brendan Mertens actually could not make it this evening, but I wanted to keep a surprise to all of you. So I'm gonna actually introduce you to my good friend, Jamie Baca.
I've been like 6 inches away from the fucking side of the TV the whole time, laughing my ass off.
So that's it. So we decided to crash the podcast. Brendan offers his TV for not being on the show.
I'll have to do.
Yeah. So Jamie will have to do.
Holy shit.
All of us live in the same town, so we
Yeah,
had
but
to
I
crash
can be
it.
on top of it though, because I saw Ghostbusters in the theater as a kid too.
Jamie was there in theaters when I was being conceived. So.
Yeah. How you guys doing, by the way?
Whoa.
Oh,
That's time. That's it. Time for another
That's
bowl.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm so glad we didn't say anything bad about Jamie.
Yes,
I know, right? I was waiting for that.
Oh God, that Jamie Baca guy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I drew his album cover, but it sounds like shit.
I did his album. He's such a douchebag.
Took 3 weeks to pay me, fuck.
God damn. Oh my God.
I was gonna ask you, Matt, what is, had you ever actually met Jamie in person? If you did, what does he smell like?
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah,
right there.
Well, if I could just.
Better on the inside.
I'm the one who brought him into VOR. I'm the one who told him about the show.
Yeah.
He did
Awesome.
something about the show about 4.
He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on this podcast and tell him how much I hate Star Wars."
Yeah. Sorry for the misdirection there. I wanted to bring Jamie in because.
What's up?
What's up? Because obviously we wanted to crash the show with a.
And I wanted to be on the show so fucking badly.
I think it's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Awesome. Soundboard. So nice.
That is all for today.
Cool.
But
Perfect.
if you want more VOR, go to VORradio.com. You can find links to the YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, any place you can watch or listen to our show. You can find information for the Republicom, where you can actually call in or send us emails, and we respond to them on the show in the 4th segment. So stick around. Come back tomorrow, where we're going to have Jamie Baca and Matt
Surprise.
as we continue talking about the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters.
This may end up being the one that shuts us down.
Well, we have to make it count. So stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna rock and roll right after these. Peace.
No, I know why you're asking if you could swear or not. Or if we get to swear too.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone gets to swear on this show. This is it.
Fuck you.
These are the Canadians. The Canadians are everything.
Hopeless. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. More Ghostbusters. Peace.